Today we're going to learn about a couple different ways that you can make your band. I think the first thing we want to do is we're going to go out of edit mode to object mode. We're going to apply some of these modifiers. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my lattice, apply my mirror, and apply the solidify. That allows me to get that lattice out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and scale this on the z-axis, so SZ to scale. That might be a little bit too much. Let's do it this way instead. Drag and select everything on my z-axis, and I'm just going to move that up. Oh. Switch that over to faces. I guess I had a edge there selected I didn't want. Alright, so there's my heart. Now we want to add a band to this, so there's a couple of different ways of doing that. We go add cylinder to show you the first way. Rotate, so RX to rotate it on the x-axis, scale 4 times. Over here, grab this, move it down. Looking at it from the z-axis, I'm going to hit scale Y so that I can narrow that down. Then I'm going to use a Boolean operation to cut out the center. So Control C, Control V to duplicate the cylinder. If I look at it from the y-axis, I want to decide how thick I want my band to be. That looks pretty good. Look at it from the x-axis. Make sure that it is protruding past the original cylinder, so scale Y to scale that out. Click on the original cylinder, Boolean operation, difference, select the inside cylinder, hit apply, and there I've got my basic ring band. Now that's not going to be very comfortable to wear, so what we want to do is we're going to go in and we want to adjust these edges so that they aren't so sharp. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go into edit mode. So for some of you, you'll have to come up here and click edit mode. Alright, now if I were to just bevel this the way it is, we might run into problems because the way we have these random cuts in here. So we can test it out and find out. So I'm going to hit Alt and select that loop cut. I'm going to have to do it twice because there are those cuts there. And then I'll do the same thing on the outside edge. Then I'll hit Control B to bevel it. Alright, that looks like it's going to be alright. I'm going to go ahead and Alt-Shift and select all of those loops. Then I'm going to hit Control B to bevel. And then here I've got bevel options. And you might have to mess around with a little bit until you get, yeah, here's where we start running into problems. So here I've selected a type of bevel, and now this is beveling along this line here. So that's kind of messing up. Let's go ahead and change that topology. So come out here, select into face mode, and we're going to get rid of those faces. So shift click to select them, and then delete and faces. Then we're going to put individual faces in for each of those segments. So I'm in line mode. Shift and click those lines, hit F to face, and then go ahead and click F all the way around until it fills those spaces. It's important to make sure that you select parallel edges. So these are parallel. Hit F, and then hold down F. It'll go all the way around eventually. Then I'm going to go back in. I'm going to try to reapply the bevel. So I'm going to Alt click on all of those edge loops so that it'll go all the way around. Control B to bevel. That's not a lot nicer bevel on that. So now if I want this to not be so segmented, I'm going to tab out of edit mode into object mode, go over to my modifier properties, which is the blue wrench, go down to subdivision surfaces, click that up to about a 2. It's a nice simple ring band, nothing too fancy, but we can do a little bit more. Say we want something a little bit fancier. I'm going to introduce you to a new way of modeling something. So I'm going to go over here to add, go down to curves, go to Nurbs circle, click on that, bring that out. I'm going to hit scale 4 to scale it at 400%, or X to rotate it on the X axis. I'm typing 90, then hit enter. All right. So let's say I want something a little bit fancier for my thing there. I'm going to need another Nerb circle, so I'm going to go ahead, Control C, Control V to copy that and paste it. Drag my second one over, and then I'm going to do rotate R X minus 90 so that I have it back in the original orientation, and then I'm going to scale it at 0.25. All right, you could also just add another, go up to your add menu and add another Nerb circle if you wanted to, but I find it easier just to copy and paste. So now I'm going to go back and select my original circle, go over here to the object data properties. Let's put this up to maybe 16 so the resolution is a little bit better. Go down to geometry, then go to our bevel tab, hit objects, use eyedropper, select your object out there. Now that's kind of big, so we're going to go into edit mode. We're going to come down here to where it says radius, and we're going to shrink down the radius of our outside there. Now that's okay, but we can do more. Come back here. I've got my second circle selected. So what I did was I selected this, I moved it in and out to see which edge I was modifying. And then I want it to be, for me, it helps me think about it if I have this band in the same orientation that I've got this, so that when I go and I make an adjustment over here, I know that this is going to be the outside, and I know this is going to be the inside. Now this gives us a whole lot more control over what this is going to look like with regard to what that outside edge is going to look like. And if you'll notice, when I go to adjust any of these points, I always select the one that is on the opposite side so that I'm adjusting it uniformly so that it is mirrored on each side. If you decide that you don't need some of these vertices, so I just want this nice curve here, I can go back in, I can select those vertices I don't want. So click, shift click, right click, and then go down to dissolve vertices, and that'll get rid of those. All right. I think I liked it better before, so I'm gonna undo that. Oh. That's weird. If I dissolve that vertices, it gets rid of the whole thing. I had no idea. That's interesting. All right, but I can make this whatever shape I want. So if I want, say I want that to be concave on the outside there, do that. We looked at some of those. Well, on the Google Classroom, there's a place where you can look at different ways of setting stones. That will be a channel. So if you wanted to set stones in a ring and you were designing it in the computer, that's the way you could do it. Well, we can make this outside edge look like anything we want it to. All right. So this is nice. This is nicer. Let's go ahead and make another one. So I'm just going to select both though. Well, I just select this one, copy paste, because this modifies this. It automatically copies this with it. So we're going to adjust this a little bit. All right. We can come in here and also edit the shape of this. And then that allows us to do something like Control C, Control V, and we'll just go R to rotate, Z on the Z axis, 180 to rotate it all the way around. Then we might have something like that. We're going to be conscious of how thick we're making that band. All right, now we can also go in here and this doesn't have to be a uniform thickness all the way around. So let's say we want to adjust the radius. Down here so that the bottom part is more narrow. So we have something like that. That's an option for us. We can also rotate these vertices. I guess it's called tilt, but essentially what it's doing is it's rotating them. So if I select two of these and then say do something like that, increase the resolution here, that'll make it a little bit more smooth. Then let's pull this to the side a little bit. Like that, and then we're Control C, Control V, and click on it. Arc rotate Z, just like the axis, rotate it 180 degrees. Or actually, I can just do this. Modifier properties, add mirror Z axis. And that looks pretty cool. To this, we'd want to add maybe some more decorations, something here in the center to make it look nice. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. Let's say I want to add a I'm going to go ahead and apply all the transformations on there. I want to scale it just on the x-axis. I didn't like the way this edge looked, so there we go. I think that looks pretty nice. Didn't take very long. I'd probably go ahead and continue to add like some details and things like that if I were going to make it a complete like ring design. But I think that for a tutorial, that looks pretty good. And then just for fun, there you go. Not too shabby. All right. Hopefully you learned something. Have fun with it. Experiment. Some things look better than other things. Sometimes it doesn't work exactly right the first time. Just keep trying until you got something that looks good. I don't know how comfortable that would be. Might have to go back in and add like a interior ring to that to make it not so hard on the finger. But anyhow, lots of potential, and I hope that that you guys enjoy it as much as I do.